Well, welcome everyone. Ready to call this to order? Okay. Let's go to attendance.
All right, Chair Matsuda, sorry, I'm like.
It's pretty close. Yes. I am here.
Vice Chair Francisco.
Here.
Commissioner Courtney.
Here.
Commissioner Ona. Here. Commissioner Page.
Present via Zoom. I forget what that word is. We were doing that for so long.
Yeah.
Good to see you. And Commissioner Appio.
Here.
Councilmember Murray. Present. And Commissioner Pottinger is absent.
Commissioner Courtney.
I think I said.
I second.
Yeah.
I didn't quite hear you. Oh, did you
Um,
move? No, I said, I didn't hear you. Oh, it was at the beginning.
Do I have a
Sorry.
motion to excuse Commissioner Pottinger?
I move that we excuse Patricia. Second?
Motion carries.
Oh, no, we gotta vote.
Oh, yes. All in
gotta-
favor.
Yes.
It was good enough for me. Motion carries.
Thank you.
We did say we were casual.
Yeah. It's been a whole month.
If we have anyone else on Zoom, but let me just double check. I didn't see one. Oh. I'm going to share the screen with you. So, do we have a motion to approve the February minutes?
Seeking a motion. Did everybody get a chance to see the February minutes? Yeah, okay. So I'm seeking a motion.
I move to approve the February minutes.
Sorry. It's moved and seconded. Those approved?
I'm abstaining because I was not present at our February meeting.
Oh, okay. Good. And those against? Motion carries.
We have 5-0.
Yes,
5-0.
and one abstention. Because I liked the word and I wasn't here.
Okay. All right, sounds great. This is our agenda. I'm sorry, this isn't right. Whoops. All right, so we have some special guests tonight that we're gonna hear from first, and then we're gonna do our council liaison report. And we'll talk about events, our proclamation, the DEI strategic plan, and the time of our DEI commission meeting. And some reports after that. So, I'm gonna turn the table to Commissioner Francisco to introduce our guests tonight and the topic at hand.
All right, so we have been talking with some of our community partners, and we are very excited here to have tonight with us Marisol from Leti, the Latino Education Training Institute. We also have April and Addie from Washington Family Engagement. And we have Kristen from the manager over at Snow Isle Library, Mountlake Terrace Library. And at the very last minute, I invited Alex from the Red Cross to join us as well. So we've been talking about having community conversations and meeting some of the needs of our community in light of our current executive orders that are coming down, and making sure that our families and communities are feeling supported and connected and safe in spaces that are appropriate for for what they need. And we don't know what people need without talking to them, and making sure that people feel comfortable and safe when we're talking is one of our roles here. So we've had community conversations here at City Hall. We've hosted some over at Snow Isle Library. We have one coming up at the end of the month at the Mountlake Terrace Elementary School. And so we are super excited to have our partners here today.
All right. Well, I know that April and Edie have the presentation, so I can pull that up. And we give you mouse if you'd like, so control.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Very nice to be here tonight. Thank you for the invitation. So my name is Sally Simmons, and I'm the founder and executive director at Washington Public Engagement. And Mrs. April Stanley, she is our program manager. So I'm going to give you just a little brief introduction to Washington Public Engagement and what we do. I apologize for my voice. I actually was very sick last week with the flu. So I'm just having a little remnants from the flu. Sorry, I'm trying to acquaint myself with this. Okay, so we've been around for 10 years. Where 10 years ago I had the vision to start a nonprofit. I didn't know anything about nonprofits, and my husband thought I was crazy and left my job at the governor's office, and I started to learn about how to become a nonprofit director. And the idea was that we needed an organization that focused specifically on parents and Washington parents to become, more engaged in their kids' education, better in civic engagement to support their kids and support their communities. So we started the process of dreaming up the nonprofit, and here we are 10 years later. We're based in Snohomish County. We are very committed to working with parents from all over the state. And I was telling the story that as a result of COVID, a local nonprofit became a statewide nonprofit because we went into classes and programs online. We had to in 2020. And then we realized that when we talk about equity and, the access to opportunities, that was the best way to have all parents access our services. So we never went back to being just a local in-person organization. We are basically a virtual statewide organization now. And so our goal is of course building leadership skills, but also make sure that they understand how the system works, systems in Washington State, government, public education, and realize that they have a voice, that, a lot of things probably should not be happening without parents being consulted. So we work on a lot of public speaking, testifying in front of legislative bodies, local and statewide. So we call ourselves a voice organization. We give a lot of thought about how we can infuse the voice of parents into, especially public policy. So here's our website if you'd like to visit and get some more information about us. Get there? So we are pretty much based on social justice, equity, and inclusion. And this is the root of Washington Family Engagement. And it's really difficult at this very moment when we are all trying to sort of erase all of those thoughts and all of the goals and the work that have been done in the last half of the century, where everything has been changing and for the better. And now we're moving backwards. So it's a very difficult time for nonprofits like ours who have been working on this whole thing, and supporting the evolution of the local governments and local systems to become open, inclusive, and equitable. So here we are. So first of all, we really believe on dignity and respect and understanding that every human being is valuable and should have fair access to everything that we have to offer. To me, that is the essence of equity, is that fair access to everything available to every person of any age. So equity and inclusion is some are measures of fairness, and we believe that that has to be the basis for everything that we have available, particularly for those who have been historically marginalized. So our job is to build capacity. We have been developing programs throughout our existence to empower parents and caregivers and professional development. So we believe that if we're going to empower and work on building the capacity of parents, we also need to build the capacity of schools. So we have a pretty good relationship with all school districts, and now we know pretty much everyone in the state, where we also work with them to provide professional development so that teachers and principals, administrators can educate themselves about how to collaborate and partner with parents on an equal footing. Usually what has happened in the past is that, school administrators and teachers are here, parents are down there. They've never considered themselves the same or at the same level. We hear this a lot, I'm just a parent, what do I know? And so our job has been all of these years is to sort of bring up both of them as equal partners. Parents are the experts on the children, and educators are experts in education. Parents are also educators at home, and so we aim to bring them together to work together on equal footing. So our job has been to offer programs for I'm not sure why this moved. And also we offer technical assistance to other organizations and institutions to learn about this empowerment, parent empowerment. We work a lot on influencing public policy, and we have a team that is now focusing on actual community conversations to be aware of what parents need and want, and we're using a special model that we have created called ParentNet. ParentNet is a model for leading and facilitating community conversation with parents, and at the moment, we just had one a couple of nights ago, is virtual.
Last
We
night.
were there.
Last night.
Last night.
Yes.
So, we are working not only in the parent, empowerment and building their capacity, but also we're working on affecting and creating a difference, making a difference in public policy and in the systems that we have created in government through the voice of parents. So this is our program. We've used several iterations of this program, and the latest is pretty much based on social justice and equity. I can't deny that we're afraid to have a program like this being, public, and we may need to make some changes, which is heartbreaking for us. But this is where we're living now. So it is definitely a civic engagement, and the school engagement program. We are, I have no idea. This is changing by itself. No, I don't know it.
Here, do you want to use the keyboard and use the?
That would be good.
Use it. I can use the arrow.
No? Close.
Yeah, I need to exit, put the red X, it's on the annotated.
There you go. Not there yet, not there yet.
Going to click on the screen.
Thank you. So. I'm just gonna run. Our course is free and virtual. We will never charge for this. Course is 11 weeks, 5 hours per week. It's pretty intensive. We actually have it in English and Spanish, and we offer it 3 times a year. We are very committed at ensuring that parents, not only learn, but also after they graduate, they come back to us as part of our alumni program and make sure that they have added opportunities for learning, community conversations. By the way, Vanita is a graduate from that program.
Yep.
And we provide a lot of other opportunities for them to continue their leadership. And they receive a certificate, and I can't tell you how many parents have come back to us to say, I have used my certificate, my graduation certificate, applying for new jobs or to go back to school. So they use what they have acquired very well, actually, to just keep moving in life and achieving more. So we're very proud of this course. It's very popular. It's offered, for everyone. It's open to everyone. We just started the spring session in English and Spanish. Okay, next please. So great. So a lot of people ask me, so why there? Why not just open this course for other people that don't have kids? They can take the class. It's not that we're closing it for the course for others who don't have children, but there's a reason for investing in parents, and we really believe that they are in a category where they impact the future of the children. So when you invest in parents, you're investing in kids. A lot of people have told us, I became a better parent after I took this course. I can now be a role model for my kid because I'm participating in a commission or in a council, or I testified for a particular bill. They're becoming role models, and we think that investing in parents, brings a lot of returns. Next, please. So here's a flyer. By the way, I brought some of these flyers with me, and if I can leave that with you, and if maybe you'd like to put them in the library, that would be wonderful. Yeah, the next course will happen in the fall because we are now in the spring session. So yeah, we have nearly 800 graduates across the state.
And what year did you start?
That's it. Do you have?
What year did you start the classes?
2015. Yeah, so I'm gonna ask you if you have any questions, and then I want able to tell us about her journey as a graduate from the course. But first, do you have any questions? Or any thoughts for me?
You should all take the class. It's really cool. It talks about how to be prepared and advocate and feel more comfortable and confident. And I go to a lot of school board meetings, and I had before I went to the training, and it made me feel a lot more comfortable.
Thank you. It was great to have you back.
Thank you.
Because it's virtual, is there a maximum amount of people that can be in each course class?
Yeah, we kind of cap it at about 22 and 25, yeah, because it's virtual, although our classes fill so quickly and we always have a waiting list. Very popular.
And submitting an application does not guarantee acceptance into the program.
No, it doesn't.
It says you'll be notified later.
Our applications and everything is first come, first served, and as I said, it's extremely popular. Yeah. That will give you the opportunity to apply again, for the next one. There's always the next one.
Are you accepting for the fall quarter now?
We pretty soon we will.
We're in the process of changing how the enrollment application goes from start to finish. And so we should be we're hoping to open up our fall registration in May.
Coming up.
And I often see these, so if anybody wants you to send you the flyer, or you could follow them on social medias.
How are you finding the people that take the classes? Is it a lot of word of mouth? Do you reach out to find people?
It's a combination, and as I said, the school district are also our best friends. And there are school districts, so we get the word out, but a lot of it nowadays is by word of mouth from our graduates. You know, we always tell them, you know, you graduate and they're all happy, and then we graduate, they're satisfied customers.
Yeah.
So we tell them, please, if you just tell one person, you know, one friend or relative about this program, we will fill another class next time, and they do. It's very popular.
Monica referred me. And I don't know if she took it, but she saw it and said, you should take this. And so I did.
People refer each other.
I'm not a parent.
There you go, we have many
With
grandparents.
many
Yeah.
grandparents who attend.
Caregivers, grandparents, we have folks who work with parents. We have a lot of professionals that work with them.
Can I ask about your funding?
Funding has been good up to now. We have been lucky, funding has been, since 2020, you know, things have started changing for the better for nonprofits. And especially nonprofits that serve, people of color. And then 2025 happened. So at the moment, we're funded well for this year and next, but I'm beginning to see a concerning trend among funders. And it's very unfortunate. Luckily, we do not have, we had at some point, but not anymore, federal funding. Many nonprofits have federal funds, and we don't happen to have any. So that has not affected us. But there are trends, you know, and sometimes funders fall, you know, get into this bandwagon about who to fund. And organizations like us that are small, vulnerable, and also that particularly serve a population that is no longer welcome in federal government. I don't know what's gonna happen next. We just don't know.
Question, comment? Can you hear me?
Yes, and I share a story that many of our graduates share. One thing that I can say about Washington Family Engagement is that when you look at our staff, we are all graduates from the program. All of our facilitators are graduates from the program. All of our class coordinators are graduates from the program. So there is this desire to not only equip our participants with knowledge and a fuller toolbox to advocate for themselves and their children and community, but also to have that investment in themselves in the upward mobility. Which I love that Addie has set that forth as part of her entire mission for the individuals that we serve. So I started off just a parent.
Never just a parent.
And when my youngest son started, elementary school, I could not help but to notice, and I do live in a very affluent neighborhood in Shoreline, and I could not help but to notice that the school, there were two entities within the school. There were the very affluent families, and then there were the families who lived in the apartment complexes to get access to that same education that is available to most families who have expendable incomes. And I saw that definite division between who was actually being heard at the school and what the school was actually willing to do for those who did not have a voice. So I started off just by starting to volunteer for the equity department. How can I be of service? What can I do? And Addie had a conference at our local high school, Shorewood High School, and the equity department lead was like, you've got to attend this conference. I think it's going to be amazing. And so I went, and I was hooked, absolutely hooked, left the conference, signed up. I just shared the story with Carolyn, signed up for the classes, and my spark was ignited. And I think that is a common thread among all of our graduates. And you can actually see when it happens. So, you know, we have our program is divided into two halves. Part one you're dealing most with like working at self to family to community. And then part two shifts to where you're starting to learn about policy and law and how your voice can be used within all of those spaces. And it is in that part two segments, typically around session 11. Like I can pinpoint it, where you like just see this light come on in everyone and then this energy takes over. And it's a beautiful thing to witness, and I've seen it many times over now, and it never ceases to thrill me to see all of these parents like, you know, leaning into the cameras and getting really excited and working on their pieces of advocacy. But my journey, I went through the classes, ended up taking my voice to the city shoreline. I was on a couple of commissions there. I'm still on the Love Your Community Grant Review Board. I also started doing work for the Shoreline School District in the Race and Equity teams, and then also became an Indigenous equity consultant for the district. And I still work a lot with that. I'm now the secretary of our Title VI program for the district. It has just been an amazing journey. And then I went from student to facilitator. And then from facilitator, I moved up to the class coordinator. And then class coordinator led me to program manager, but me realizing, and Addie had so much faith in me that I could do the job, but I wanted to make sure that I was best prepared. And so that led me going back to college. And so then I got certificated as a program manager, which was a huge step for me because I'm working full time. I'm a mom of 2 children, very little time. My evenings were spent writing papers, doing assignments, but it was worth it in the end. And my journey is one that I hope to see many of our graduates take. And I openly share my journey because I think so many moms get stuck in I don't have time. I don't know how to make these moments for myself. And it's in that journey that you start to understand that when you empower yourself, you empower your children. And so, you know, Addie was talking about being a role model, and, you know, I love that in my last testimony before a school board, my children stood beside me as I gave testimony. And that for me was like that beautiful full circle moment. And it was extremely powerful, and we get to see a lot of those stories.
We get to see a lot of that. Our graduates send us videos and emails and photos of what they've done. And sometimes we don't even know, and then they get back to us, they come back to us and say, well, here's what we have accomplished after graduation, and it's really amazing.
It's amazing.
It's totally amazing, yeah, we're very happy with this program. As I said, we wouldn't be here talking about it if it wasn't good, and it didn't produce results, because I don't want to do things that don't have results in the community. And I think this program has had for so many years, so it would be very sad if it goes away. But, you know, we don't want to think about that.
Yeah, that's not happening. We're not putting that into the universe.
Well,
I think William had a question.
oh, yes, William, did you have?
Hi, yeah, William. Hi, thank you for your presentation. And April, thank you for what you just said, because it kind of built upon the 2 things that I wanted to share. One, the 2 things that really jumped out at me from your presentation was, the fact that your mission is to influence public policy. I think that is, the most important part of any organization that is trying to bring good and help to children and families, is to be willing to take on that battle of influence, and policy, because that's where it begins, and sometimes that's where it ends, as we're kind of seeing now. And the other thing that really jumped out at me was when you was talking about the parent leadership was build a foundation of knowledge. And again, April, you stole my thunder, which I don't think I have much of anyway today. But the what you said about your progress was really what, from a selfish standpoint from Mountlake Terrace, I was hoping to challenge you all to, as you go through these programs with these parents, that you can help identify those parents that could potentially from Mountlake Terrace that's in your organization, because of the knowledge that you help generate, that they will be willing to follow somewhere. I mean, you got one heck of a path that that you've then laid out, but we've got opportunities here in the city, for commissions and boards and activities. And I'm hoping that as you are becoming partners with us and be able to see some of the things that we're doing, with the DEI Commission and in collaboration with the city and Snow Isles Library, that maybe you can encourage as part of your program to encourage those parents to look, see, engage, and get involved in the things that we're doing here in Mountlake Terrace. So thank you for your presentation.
Yeah.
Well, and Dr. Steve Woodard has been talking.
Yeah.
He's a guest speaker in Washington County Engagement.
Steve.
Yes.
Steve has been, I think, to every single graduation we have ever
Yes.
hosted. And we don't even have to extend an invitation, he just magically appears.
He does that.
I just that multiple times, but I don't know how he does it. He has to show-
I think he has a transporter. I'm pretty certain, because like I can see him in one space on Facebook, and then I turn around and somehow he's in the space that I'm in, and I'm like, wait a second, how did this happen?
I have a question. Are there similar programs like this in other states?
That, that leadership has been a trend for the last probably 20 years. So many others have exist in other states. We created our own based on Washington State. So what we talk about in the program, it talks about, the government of our state, how, how our state functions and how it's organized, and it's very, just very Washington based.
Got it.
But this is not new leadership, this is not something that we invented, but we did create the curriculum for Washington State, so.
All right, well, thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
We look forward to, all types of partnerships and joint projects. We'd love to train Mountlake Terrace parents. We actually have many in our rosters. Many parents have graduated from Mountlake, that live in Mountlake Terrace, but we'd love to train more. Definitely, I think that would be a really nice thing to do.
So we need to do some more recruiting.
Love to, love what you've done with everything, and I think it will be a great partnership.
All right.
Questions, do we have enough collateral to pass on Saturday at our community conversation?
Collateral for,
Can we,
that we could share with these folks,
well, that we could share from these folks,
Oh,
what they attend.
yes,
to.
right.
And we're gonna have
Great.
parents who are interested in
Ah,
being in this.
Yes, so you have a connection with the school district for Peach Jar.
Yes.
Yes, so, I've seen your flyers in this, so we can have their flyers there,
Okay.
for sure. Yes, we can
Yes.
bring the flyers to the community conversation at the school.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we'd love to talk more about the conversation.
Yes.
We're trying to get initiative ourselves.
Yes,
We have as you know, we have a prototype, and we have a protocol that we will use for our parent conversations, and the goal is to actually develop that network of parents that have a voice, that want to look further into becoming more civically engaged. So we're just beginning that process, and we hope to do more of that, so you're just in the beginning of that.
all right. We are
Well,
also fortunate to have Marisol
Yes,
here.
yes.
So Marisol's with Letty.
Such a hard. Follow. Well, thank you. My name is
Values for the program.
My name's Savannah, I'm the director, I'm gonna stand up just because I've been sitting all day long. But my name is Savannah, I'm the director of health and wellness programs for NEDI. So we are the Latino Educational Training Institute. We've been around since 1998. Originally founded by Rosario Reyes, who's still the CEO of NEDI. So she immigrated from Peru. When she was about 20 years old. So she had very little English. She had to figure out the navigation of just the American system. And so that was something that she, her experience, she kept with her. She worked at Centro, she worked at Seymour for about 20 years. And then she decided that to really do kind of the work that she wanted to do, she needed to have her own nonprofit. So she was a volunteer, just like Abby mentioned, for many years without any funding. Working with different organizations to support some of the community projects. So really focusing on the empowerment of the community. She's a very big on business development as well. So we do have classes and courses that we partner with different organizations like Center for Inclusive Entrepreneurship. We have ELD, so different organizations that have expertise, and that's kind of really what we try to do is not create things from scratch, but rather also look for partnerships and bring all of those together. So when I explain Levy to community members or different organizations, I really explain it as like a bridge. We have 27 different programs. They are very, all over the place, and that was on purpose, because people are complex, and so it takes a lot of different moving pieces to really, come together and make sure people are not only surviving but thriving. So it's a very holistic approach. So we have 4 different categories. We have educational classes, so we primarily work with the Spanish community in Salinas County. We have different partners and clients from King, Pierce, Skagit, just depends on the funding and things like that. Sometimes funders don't give implementation, so we definitely take advantage of those and open our services to anybody who speaks Spanish or English. So all of our classes are primarily in Spanish. If we do need to translate, we will do so. All of our staff are bilingual. With the caveat, some people always claim that their English is not that great, but they do good. So we have staff members who are in classes and things like that. We do a lot of internal development, much like what April was mentioning, or being part of something. So we were volunteers or clients of different programs. So I was the first full-time staff member that was fully funded by Urban Health Commission back in October of 2019. So my couple months of normal work while I was at UW Waffle doing my bachelor, I was able to kind of be part of Levy right before 2020. COVID and the pandemic hit, and Abby mentioned something that was very common, is that we got all of a sudden all this light and everybody's like, hey, like we have funding, like can you do something with this? And there was that rapid response. So with that, we actually grew exponentially. So from being a couple staff members, we're up to 30 right now. A lot of them are part-time, so people who are parents or have maybe another job and just enjoy working with the community and want to do something else as well. But curriculum programs are a whole bunch. A lot of people manage a lot of different ones as well at the same time. But a lot of that just empowerment. So education, leadership, business development. So they're apart from the workforce development. We also try to work with community building as far as culture retention. Also. Just working with our youth as well. That's something that we're trying to lean into a little bit more. Study naturally went with adults, people with English language learners, GED, Spanish, things like that. And we're actually right now doing like a free mariachi, so we have a group, we had a children's choir, we had a volunteer, with Spanish, things like that. So there's always just different partnerships that are occurring at different times, and I'm happy to send that, with the programs out, because I've been trying to find all of them to be here for a very long time. But think of us as a bridge to the Latino community. What else was I say? Our new steps right now, so, we actually just got a new, building in Everett. So we were able to actually receive funding from the state, to purchase a training center. So it is, well, prior beauty college, about 15,000 square feet. So that is in Everett, off of, Evergreen and Everett Mountlake. So super close by, kind of that intersection. And so we're hoping to have a commercial kitchen, we're hoping to, training room, we want to be, caterers, and then we'll have a retail space as a cafe, we'll also have an event center, and then multi-use classrooms and spaces, to do after school activities or just, family events and things like that. So.
Thank you, Marisol. Any questions for Marisol?
So it sounds like you're not focused on any specific kind of training, is it really broad, or is that the approach?
Yeah, so it's pretty much whatever people are looking for, either we have it or we'll refer out, to different programs.
You were showing us the space yesterday, and so you have a class series right now about air quality.
Yeah, yeah, we try to look at the different opportunities and, I think it's the business entrepreneur side of Rosario, Tom, and myself, and I also had a previous business too. So, it's just what's the opportunity, to be able to, work, within that and benefit the community. And so, like, you were mentioning, that we have, the air quality program. And so, we have 2 sessions and people get to learn all about, the effects of it on your body and how, our second class session is actually going to be around advocacy and how how can we, start bringing that up and how do we do that within our own communities and spend more.
That's great. Thank you. And Alexander, would you like to talk?
Absolutely. I'm not gonna stand up, I don't have any energy. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I know I'm a late addition to the agenda here. I'm Alex Newman, I'm the Executive Director for the American Red Cross Northwest Washington, which covers Snohomish, Skagit, Whatcom, Island and San Juan counties. And that's just a fancy way of saying that I'm the person who is here to work between our different lines of service, be that disaster services, be that service to the armed forces, blood services, training services, first aid, AED, all of those things, to develop those community partnerships, to make sure that we are here in the community, representing the community, and serving the community in whatever aspects that looks like. I'll share that the way that the Red Cross has done, especially disaster relief, for the last 150 years, has been that the Red Cross is training our own people, making our own people prepared to respond to disasters wherever they happen, and then sending them out to be the people who are going to go and go into that community and fix everything, and it's all going to be fine, right? We have an incredibly increasing scale and frequency of disasters that we are responding to locally throughout the country. We respond to everything from those enormous hurricanes that you see, earthquakes, wildfires, to single family fires. Illustrated providing direct financial assistance and care and comfort to those things as well. So it's happens at every level, and we know that with that expanding scope, we run the risk of completely running ourselves dry. when it comes to our resources to respond, when it comes to having the right people to respond, having the funds to respond, whatever it might be. So our approach at the moment, and plans to be for the foreseeable future, is that of community mobilization. Which basically means that instead of acting upon the community and, you know, rushing in to do all of this, that we are developing those partnerships within the community to help us deliver those, so that instead of it just being internal Red Cross trainers going out teaching preparedness, we have partners in the community, hopefully in other languages, and people who might specialize in training to help us with who might be able to reach in from within those communities to be able to empower them to have those skills, that knowledge at the individual level, and then to be that community's responders as well. So that we're not just relying on groups of people from outside who don't understand the communities, who don't know this and that, to try to come in and pretend like we do, right? So that's the whole model that we're working on, and that means for us super locally that we are trying to develop partnerships with Spanish-speaking community organizations, with Ukrainian-speaking community organizations. Those are the main two at the moment, but there are many others, of course. And trying to get in there and build that trust at the earlier stages, so that we can build up. Vanita is an incredible volunteer for our disaster response work at the local level. And, you know, you just mentioned about something that we do really well is that scalability.
Yes.
Is that we can go from, you know, what might be looking like a small, say, wildfire response that affects one community, one neighborhood, and then it turns into what happened in LA very, very quickly. And what we have the ability to do is, as the need expands, we can flood in more resources to do that. But the strongest response is going to be from when we have that initial foundational layer built of the people of that community. And knowing that when it's not just us doing it, we have partners from other organizations working with the Medical Reserve Corps to create agreements with them so that they can flood in the most local healthcare practitioners to be able to serve in our shelters when we need them, instead of flying in Red Cross nurses from across the country, and making sure we have those local ones so that we can scale up as much as possible internally within the communities before we need to do any of that extra stuff. And then on the completely other side, Red Cross is the largest provider of blood products in the country, providing 40% of the nation's blood. So that means that we have to have a really diverse blood supply in order to serve people. Whether that's for our sickle cell initiative, people who are only able to receive blood from the blood components from certain donors, life-saving therapies that are developed from blood and blood components from certain donors of certain ethnic backgrounds. Those things are just essential to make sure we have happy, healthy communities that are resilient in the face of health emergencies, in the face of natural disasters, whatever it may be. So all of what we are doing at the Red Cross requires this strong community response, requires our partners to lean in and for us to lean into the most local communities as deeply as possible. So I'm just very glad to be here, to be meeting all of you today, and to be figuring out what all that is going to look like later on. So I'll leave some of my cards here. I'd love to hear from all of you.
Thank you. Yeah, we're and we'll have Kristen in a minute here too, but we the five of us groups, we've been talking on and off over the last few months, and we're kind of gelling together a few more meetings to figure out like what it looks like for us all to have a partnership. So, and Kristen.
You've all heard from me before, so I'm not going to talk for very long, but I just wanted to make sure that I invited you all to participate in Snow Isle Reads Together. Accordion Eulogies is a memoir of, I haven't read it yet, I have to. I mean, he's exploring his heritage by going to Mexico and exploring accordion. His grandfather is originally from there, and just he hasn't known much. They've been like the family has been estranged. So I'm gonna pass these around, feel free to take one. If you don't, I won't feel very, very horrible or anything. And then also wanted to make sure that I invited you to some upcoming events. We just started Korean language storytelling a couple of weeks ago. It got a really good, Vincent, our children's librarian, was interviewed by the Korean language radio station. And there just have been a lot of people coming out for that. We continue with stories with Sasha and some in Russian and some community, some kids programs, Builders Club for Russian speakers. Not seeing as many Ukrainian speakers as we did previously. It sounds like there's some people who have lost their visas and are having difficulties. And then there's a couple of other events to highlight on there as well. Songs from the Heart, Peter Ali, and Native American flutist. And then also the Herencias Mexicanas and Everett Washington Folklorico group for everything else. That's the limited to touch on the front. That's the Saturday, May 10th. And then also, if you are interested in neurodiversity, some of our libraries now have sensory kits that are out. I didn't print out something for everybody, but you should stop by the library to see them. We have some that are more kind of toy-based. So behavior cards, communication cards, weighted lap blankets, fidget spinners. We also have noise reduction headphones and some weighted vests, like some heavier duty weighted vests. And model cushions. And the idea is that it will provide parents and guardians with an opportunity to test out some of these products and see if they work with their kiddos. Or we've got some that are aimed at kid sizes and some that are more teen appropriate or larger child appropriate. So it's something that we're just setting out, and we've had some positive comments from the public so far.
Is the Snow Isle Reads Together, is it like the whole community? So I read Ear Hustle and that was like an LA read, the city reads together. Is it that idea?
There used to be like a Whidbey Island component that it was just the island that did the reading together, but now it's all Snow Isle Reads Together. So this is, there will be several online programs as well as in-person programs throughout the library district. If you took a look at the back, you can also say, there's the Meet the Author, listen to accordion music, tell a family story, explore your ancestry. So like a little gaming portion. Of this stuff. And we did, at least at the time that I walked over, have one copy that was on the shelf, and have lots and lots of copies in the system. So you can read it. Use the
Yes.
smartphones.
How often do you switch books?
It's once a year.
Once a
Once a
year?
year,
Oh,
this is just
got
the
it.
second time that we've done it, so, but we just had the kickoff, a soft launch a couple of weeks ago. I did not bring stickers, but there are stickers that are out on the display, so you have to drop by the library to pick those up. Everybody loves a sticker now, right?
How do you guys host the folklore dance or music nights at the library? This is where I come from, you're not allowed to make any noise at the library.
So we have hosted them in the meeting room, and sometimes things get loud, so.
That's the part of it.
So some of it is, sometimes we'll close the meeting room doors at a certain point in the program, where we're like, it's loud enough that everybody who wants to be there can tell that it's there. Usually I will prop one lobby door open so that everybody feels like they can come into the library, they don't need to press the button or worry about anything. On a louder program, I might close that lobby door.
It's not that far from the other rooms that when you close those two doors.
It takes care of a lot of noise mitigation, and sometimes we do encourage people to take a look at the event schedule. And if in particular you need absolute silence, that might be a good time to not use the library or to bring your own noise canceling. But that would be potentially, you know, it's a meeting space, it's an event space, and we recently had the Irish dancers there, and I guess there were 90 people who came, so. Wow. And I think with something like that, people enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know you're gonna hear from them.
originally that the library could afford to bring in everything that we might want to, but if you've got community groups that want to be performing, that want to be participating together, we have a whole harp circle that has been meeting monthly for years. That's, I think.
Can you help us find a place? Like, no, you can't use libraries.
See, that's, you should have called.
Yeah, I know. Wanted to ask questions.
I mean, it's, well, okay, again, probably if you start emailing me more than once a day.
And Kristen has been a great partner for the commission in helping host events at the library, which thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Having us
Yeah,
here.
nice to meet
A
you.
pleasure.
Thanks so much. Really interesting.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
One of our projects.
Yes.
We didn't get much accessibility to, is there like a website, how can we?
I left my cards in the car, but yes, we do have a website and, maybe Carolyn.
Yeah.
Send
Yeah.
out an email with my.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have the list of
Sounds good.
programs too that we can send.
Yes.
And I just wanted to add that, especially for your organization, on Saturday, we're having a community conversation at Mountlake Terrace Elementary in partnership with Evans School District. So they've like invited all the families. Yes. And you can do some info on her.
Thanks, Chris. It's our volunteers that are doing it.
Tomorrow we have to see you.
Well, thank you for letting us in the space and, you know. Yes.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, that's for you.
So I'll take an extra.
Thank you.
Yes. And Andrew made one. Yeah, I saw. Andrew made a bunch. So that we can all give away. Should we take a 5-minute recess?
Yeah, we are doing it right.
Perfect.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
But
I mean,
Okay,
we just moved offices.
all right. Sounds great. Thank you again.
Yes, absolutely.
Are you taking a little break? I guess.
Where can I put positive and make a difference?
Wow.
And also, there's some like, Native Life Association, I mean, to Linwood. They're this year, they're having a big annual meeting here, like, for.
Yeah.
You see that? Okay.
Yeah.
Me too, yeah.
I was like, I can't see.
I just had to get on move around. I gardened for about 3.5 hours.
Clear
this
that.
afternoon.
I did that
Yeah,
too.
it's my birthday. Big, lengthy,
Yeah.
and I've just got this one bed I didn't really clean out before the end of the year, and so I'm edging.
Yeah.
Want to get steamed.
Yeah, it's, whenever it gets like this, it's just that.
Oh, I
You
can't,
wake up to it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
I
your
can't-
mind is going, well, you know, that part of the yard needs this, and this is the time of the year, I better get
well,
that.
yeah, and it's like, I've been trying to motivate myself, but when it's cold out, like
Yeah.
when we've had this wind and stuff.
Yeah,
I just haven't been able to do it, but man, today it was like, well, I walked at the zoo this morning and then came home and I didn't sit down very long because I was like, then my brain was doing that. It's like, what should I do? Which
Yeah.
should I start with? And I have orchard mason bees, they're out today.
oh,
I have my peach tree is about ready to open up
Yeah.
and I'm so afraid, we're having a storm tomorrow.
yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Right, yes, we are.
I'm so afraid that the hail's gonna.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's, but it's gonna be really warm tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's gonna be warmer tomorrow than it was today,
yeah.
but it's gonna be like. we're
Well, it's gonna be like a
drenched.
Midwest storm,
Yeah.
which is like
Yeah.
crazy, so.
I was figuring you'd be in there.
How are you, Andrew?
I'm good.
Good.
Getting in the thick of it all.
There's a lot, it's the beginning of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, and now it's just, people ask me, hey, what day is this? I'm like, you don't know, I'm like, really? Like, there are only so many days that I have like solidified in my head.
Yeah,
Other ones, I'm like, There's a 17, there's a 15, there's a 27, give me a second.
I can't, you know, that's been my problem with being retired, is I fill up my calendar with all these different things. And if I don't look at it, I am screwed, you know?
And everything has to go on my work and my personal, because I'll plan something on my
Yeah.
personal, but then it'll be on my work. Like,
Yeah,
so it's like, they both have to go across and I can't sync them because it's public record and everything, I'm just like. Okay, so it's like, put it in there, I gotta put it in here, I gotta put it in there.
yeah. Yeah, I have two calendars, because one is for this family place that we share, and I have to put everything on both of them, because otherwise I'm like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be going to this place, but I already have this.
Well, like tomorrow, there's like 4 things going on, but I have to be at community academy. But then they're like, oh, we have the middle housing open house, and I'm like, cool, but I can't be there because I have community academy. And then there's like 2 other meetings right before that, I'm like, you guys, I only can be one place at one time.
Yeah.
Picking and choose, like, I might come there later, I might do this. So,
Yeah,
When there tornado tomorrow, is that the plan?
is
yeah,
So-
we had tornado tomorrow, yeah.
with,
I was like,
golf ball hail, I'm like.
I know, I was like, so what does that mean for our city program?
After 6 o'clock, so while everyone's inside, they come out to their car, and everyone gets the experience together.
Oh, lovely.
We have
I will
tornado
say-
warnings, I'm like, what?
I know, I was like, I can't deal with all that.
I didn't down there, and on Wednesday night, so I'm like, cool, let's go down to the water where it's gonna, there's no cover, I can't park anywhere under cover there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm like, well, good thing I have a 12-foot canopy I get to put out over my car if I need to at night. So that doesn't help if it's happening on my way home or not. And none of our insurance covers it because we don't have hail insurance up here.
No,
Hi, Aaron. I'm good.
the only
Wow.
tornado warning I've ever
I
been.
want to
in
reconvene
Washington
this
State. Yeah.
group.
I guess maybe I will move down.
Yeah, let's bring everybody closer.
No,
It's
we can make sure everyone else eats first.
That's it.
Yeah.
My mom always said, I hope we will always have money because he will eat us if we win.
Commissioner on that, will you join us here?
Do you wanna come
Let's
sit
close
down
up
too?
Yeah, come on up.
Yeah, you can come right here next to.
Yeah, take,
Okay.
We can pretend like we all like each other.
and Commissioner Apio, would you join
Like
us
we're
up
on the same commission.
further west here?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
There's 2 people.
Well, William's here, but he's just not physically here.
How you doing, William? Hanging in there?
Yeah. I don't want to get close to you.
Let's not do that.
Commissioner Page, I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah.
Yeah. food.
Life is bad.
So one of my days, my daughter goes, "Can you help me find the pediatrician?"
Okay, we are at a report. Councilmember Murray,
Are we back?
we're back.
Oh, all right, well, hello. That was wonderful and nice to see everybody. I will try to keep it relatively brief, but I guess upcoming non-DEI related council stuff. We were talking a little bit right before we restarted about our open house tomorrow night, so around middle housing. I think when we talk about like a welcoming and inclusive community, having different types of housing, having different cost points for housing is a really important component of that. And that is at 6 o'clock here at City Hall, and so we'd love to have folks join us and or encourage others to join us if you're interested in coming and learning more. I think the presentation is planned for 6:30, so just kind of keep that in mind. I think it's 6 to 8. At 6:30 is when staff will share a little bit about what we're looking at, so that should be good. Other stuff, Thursday, we have our normal council meeting. We have several things on the agenda. We're gonna hear from the Snohomish County Sports Commission Executive Director, which I think will be cool. Lots of interesting stuff going on in sports generally and here in Snohomish County. I don't know that we've had, at least she hasn't visited during my time on the council, so I think that'll be interesting. And then we have a couple of presentations from our police department. So the first one is a presentation on a proposed technology
in partnership or vendor partnership, with a company called Flock Technologies. And they use, video cameras mounted in like the public right of way to record, license plates, in use, for public safety related reasons. And so we're gonna hear a little bit about, their organization and the work that they do. And then the other presentation is on, sorry, my computer died. Presentation.
The ILA for the jail.
Oh, it's the ILA for the jail. So currently we use jail services with Snohomish County, so we take folks all the way up to Everett. Linwood has expanded their capacity here closer by. And so looking at partnering with them, to utilize services with them. Sorry, my voice all of a sudden is going. Other stuff coming up next week, we are doing council interviews for our open position on the city council. So we've got 14 applicants Wednesday and Thursday next week. We'll be doing interviews, so that Thursday meeting won't be a normal meeting for us. We will be interviewing folks and then going into executive session on that Thursday to discuss applicants. Other stuff, boards and commissions applications are open. I think that's a big one, so, both, I don't know offhand whose terms are up this time around, if anybody on this commission, but do keep an eye on that. We have people reapply if you're interested in continuing service. And would also encourage you to help spread the word, to other folks who might be interested in serving on boards and commissions. So again, that's the Planning Commission, the Arts Commission, the Recreation and Parks Commission, and yourselves. You got to meet and see a lot of those folks when you presented, which I thought was great. And then we also heard that the NPIS, so the team that reports up to the Recreation and Parks Commission, where they each have responsibility for a park within Mountlake Terrace, is looking for a couple of folks. They have to live within a half mile of the park that they represent. And so one is Forest Crest, which is on 236th. It's kind of got that little like T-ball baseball field there, and a little park. And then the other one is Ballinger Park. So you know any folks who live close to those parks who might be interested in serving. That's where I started. It's a fun group, and it's a fun group. So I think that is all I am tracking on at the moment, but I'm happy to answer questions if anybody has questions. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, Aaron, I have a question.
Yeah.
The company, just something to think about, the company that's going, the police is going to be doing a presentation, with this company, with the cameras that record plates. And I'm guessing the company's going to be there to help them do that and probably give y'all some sort of cost, analysis. One of the things that might be worth questioning is because Lake Forest Park, has those cameras. If anybody that drives through Lake Forest Park, they got them on 522 over at the town center. They got them on 24, heading towards Brookside, coming down the hill in both directions. And one of the things that I found out probably about 2 or 3 years ago, because, the Shoreline School District buses drive through there all the time and those lights go off all the time. And what we found out was that I think the company was like either from Connecticut or New York, and they didn't talk about what the cost was to Lake Forest Park, but it was like an amazingly low percentage of revenue that was being generated, from those cameras. Like I'll just throw a number out, say the light goes off 100 times of somebody committing a violation, and of that 100 times, maybe like 30 of those 100 actually get scrutinized, and of that 30, maybe only 10 are actually producing some type of revenue. So it might be interesting to ask the question, what percentage of the cameras going off, actually present, some revenue opportunity, or for the city of Mountlake Terrace, what can they expect from pattern change of drivers because of the presence of the cameras?
Thank you for the question, William. I appreciate it because I think I probably could have been more clear. So we have discussed like speed limit and red light camera sort of situations, which I think is what Lake Forest Park has that you're referring to. This is a little bit different. This would not be a revenue producer at all for the city. It would be actually an additional budget expenditure. And it is really just focused on the tracking of license plates in support of public safety. So they record, and again, we haven't had the presentation yet. So if you have lots of questions, I may not be the best. But what I understand thus far, I'll couch it that way, is they record all of the passing vehicles, license plate information, and then they store it for a time period, I think, which is 30 days, so that if issues come up or if there is an Amber Alert or those sorts of things, that our police have access to those records. So, but again, I think it's a place where there is lots of questions. I definitely will have questions, and would welcome, if you guys, the materials are online. I've started to take a look at them, but I have not finished looking at all of them. So if you take a look and have questions, I'm happy to hear those questions. And also it's a work session. We're not voting on anything. So if you listen and have thoughts after, would welcome you sharing those as well.
I heard a sneak peek of that at the Cops and Clergy earlier this month.
Okay.
And it sounded like there was like processes in place for protecting privacy and to not like there's safety net to not aggressively go after people. But there would be good reasons in place to look for certain car types or license plates. So I'm gonna watch that part and see how the presentation has evolved, because it was like, I have to present to council, so I'm gonna dry run through with you guys. And then it was a lot of just regular conversation.
Thank you, I appreciate that. William, did I answer your question as best I can right now? Okay.
Yeah. The memo online explains that what they do fairly well, and it is related to a potential contract, so.
But we are not voting on the contract, correct?
I believe it is a review and vote. No, it's a presentation. It's a presentation. You're right. Okay. All right. Events, and I do want to note that we can edit the agenda because we did go really long in the presentation. So if you wish, I could delay my DEI strategic plan presentation. I think we need to get through some of the events.
Okay, yes, well, let's get through. That's what
But we can see where we are.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So the first one, Children's Day. I did circulate a draft poster, which you need to fill in a few details for, which we'll talk about here. So I just wanted to get an update on Prem and Bonita on planning. Who's coming? Who do they represent?
I'm not really good at planning things, obviously.
But we've talked and you had people.
Yes, so the children. The children's folklore group is still interested. That's all I know, and we did discuss that the computer does not move. So potentially we will just clear the seats by the wall.
Okay, Children's Folklore Group is the official name,
I
or
forgot their official name.
if you can just email me their
Yes.
official name, and then, do you know how long their dance will be? So I just would need to know their.
The length and.
The length of and then what their AV needs are. Like, are they gonna need?
AV needs, okay.
Yeah, like music, how do we? What form is the music in, and do we need to project it on the speakers?
How many kids?
Oh, yeah, and how many children will be, yeah, because I have some ideas about the room setup, but it would be helpful to understand like how much space they need for the dance.
on my behalf. If it's a nice day, would outside be an option?
Yeah.
In the plaza?
Yeah.
Which part is it the parking
The
lot
dam.
plaza?
No, the,
right
with
out
the,
here,
right up.
This giant plaza right here where.
Oh, where the statue,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
flowers,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, yeah.
That's easier, cause.
okay. And is it allowed by the code to play music outside?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. and
Not
so-
after 10. I don't think they're really that long.
Party every day, like, you don't know what's okay.
I think we can write ourselves a variant.
Okay.
CD as a sign off. But no, so that's, I guess, for my part is if it's a nice day and we do need AV needs that are different than inside. That is something that we could work on, like for the tree lighting, we have speakers and stuff like that. So if it's just projection that they need, then that's one thing, but if it doesn't work, but I just want to continue to see if it was nice enough outside, it could draw more people passing by to engage with that aspect.
Okay.
But I would like to get the flyer out this week, so just like getting their name, I think was the main thing on the flyer. Can you pass me?
The name of.
So I have been trying to connect and confirm with the Mountlake Terrace High School choir. And the teachers had, the choir advisor has had a lot of personal, family turmoil. They had a recent passing, and is also pushing super on the students taking leadership roles. So high schoolers are hard to connect with. I cornered one of the journalism students at a school board meeting though and said, I sent you guys an email, please write me back. So hopefully the journalism department will be here as well. And then I met with I saw the principal and vice principal of Briar Terrace Middle School. They did a presentation and I recognized some of the kids. And I said, this would be wonderful if your kids would come. And so they are on board with that and would just like the flyer with details.
And that was for speaking during the council meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
For speaking
And
during.
so you're talking about the high school choir?
The high school choir, yes.
Okay.
The elementary school choir is not available.
Okay.
They don't have a teacher, a staff person available.
And if you think you can't secure it, I think it would be nice to start promoting this the first week of April, because I wanted to get a sign-up list for the children to sit at the dais with any council members who are available and get their photos taken, because we only have 40 minutes to do that, so.
It'd be nice to have it for Saturday too. I don't know if you're thinking about that, but for the community conversation.
Oh, the flyer.
Oh, yeah, the flyers, for sure.
Or at least to be able to
yeah.
give you, like, for
Yeah.
folks, like-
Or save the date kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will confirm with the choir and tell them they have a deadline.
Okay. And then what else did we need to know for that? Yeah, I think I just, will do like an online registration, like through Survey Monkey or something, or for children to sign up for a slot, and then, we'll have some photographers, we've got the flyer. Yeah, and so when you speak, oh, sorry, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh, when you speak with the choir, just, same questions that I asked.
Yes.
them, so, okay.
The nature of the photography, is it just the groups or is it like you want a flow of the day?
Oh, the main thing is the first part when we have the children sit at the dais.
Yes.
To get them at the seat.
Yes.
Like, you know, making their proclamation or
Oh,
whatever
okay,
that
yeah,
they
yeah,
do,
yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe there's the council member standing behind them or with them or something. So, but just shoot it it would be static, just sitting, you know, you could have a tripod and aim it at the dais.
Kind of like when you go visit.
And it would be one student at a time.
Yeah.
Not like the whole pan of the
Yeah.
dais. Thank you for helping with that. All right, anything else on Children's Day? Coming up.
I'm excited about the 5:30.
I know, isn't that?
I really got to do this already. You turned me down too old.
Well, maybe a counselor.
Child at heart.
Did you like the little child icon that I didn't actually. It was the only thing I could find that was like a child standing at a time.
Love it.
Okay, and I'll confirm which council members will be there so we can figure out that. All right, well, this is exciting stuff. And if you want to change anything on the flyer, if you don't like it, just let me know. The Asian American Pacific Islander event, we made some progress on Monday. Kermit and Scott and I met. And here's a draft flyer for that. I was trying to make it multi-Asian culture, but
Yeah. Good.
we
No,
can
that-
do some other jazzy things on it if you want. So feel free to make some comments on the poster. Make sure I've Scott gave me a correction for the poi balls and how to describe that.
Yeah.
Oh, those are so cool.
Yeah.
Somebody taught us how to make them at a Girl Scout event.
Yeah.
Oh,
She, yeah,
Yeah.
she brought her culture.
Yeah.
Thought it was
It's like all of the Polynesian cultures do that all the way down to like New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was after you sent me that, I was searching on the internet to make sure it was, I didn't know if it had to be capitalized or whatever. So I was just
Yeah.
like looking for it and it was like New Zealand Maori came up like
Yeah.
with the videos and everything. So
Yeah, she reached out to me and I just thought that'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
That the way she does it is easy enough to have kids make it. 'Cause
Yeah.
for the most part in Hawaii, the parents make it.
Yeah.
It's a little difficult, or they buy it.
yeah,
But the way they do it, the way she does it, it's, the kids can actually make them. And
Nice.
Yeah, they come out pretty sturdy.
good.
Great idea.
So Kermit is working on confirming a couple of performers.
We do have the band and the little group for them. I was suggesting maybe, I sent you an email on it,
Okay,
having the drum group and the drill group kind of bookend the thing, just because there's the logistics in sort of set up with tech and stuff.
Mhm.
But also the band to the hula group, there's no break in the middle of those, because the band supplies the music for the hula group, so the band can play for a little
oh,
bit.
right,
And then start, and then introduce the hula group, and it just goes naturally into each other, so we wouldn't need a 15-minute break there.
great.
And so I think it would work well if we did, the other two groups sort of on either side of that.
Okay.
Just for logistics, is my suggestion.
Are there any AV needs, power needs for those?
There are,
Okay.
sorry, well, I know for the Hawaiian, group, yes, I do have a sound system if we need. And it can definitely cover the gym pretty well, or the auditorium pretty well, so if we need.
Okay, yeah, I wanna make sure they have whatever power we need and access to that, so it's not running
We
across.
do, yeah, we do need power. I know they have a sound system there, but I don't need to.
I would-
It's easier for us to just bring one in.
I would ideally like us not to have to use theirs.
Yes.
It's more liability on us.
Agreed, and then and that way I also have control over the sort of the sound and how everything
Yes,
is.
so if you're okay with that.
Yeah, and we can also MC from that spot as well. I can have a mic dedicated to hosting on that system as well, so. If that's easier, it's easier for us to.
Yeah, I think that'd be smooth across the board, just to have that
Okay.
and say,
Okay.
we control it all, we don't have to get their permission and have somebody come in and walk us through it and say,
Yes.
don't touch this part, touch this, like, if you do this, and if it goes wrong, then we have to call somebody, so
Excellent.
I would appreciate that.
You would have to call John and you know John.
Yeah, John will take care of everything.
Yeah.
Got his number.
Yeah. Just grab him when he's walking by, walking home.
And for the photo booth.
For AAPI or
Yeah.
Juneteenth, which one are you talking about?
Yeah.
AAPI,
Yeah.
yeah.
We need about 15 by 15, the smallest footprint.
Okay,
20 by 20 better.
Okay.
And we need power.
Okay.
And, a table. We can access a table for the equipment.
Is that within the 20 by 20?
Yes, it's within the 20 by 20. And it's gotta be indoors.
Would you, I would like to probably not put it in the cafeteria,
Mhm.
just because if people are coming there for performance, would want a line to go there.
Yeah,
Are you okay with being at the southeast end of the gym where those double doors are?
yeah,
There's power there, and that way we can just kind of be in that corner.
yeah, sure. That works.
Good spot. That's a
And
good
it has
spot.
power directly there, and it's
Yeah.
just easier to kind of have that
Okay.
lined out or go along the backside of the gym.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah, we need an area that doesn't get any like wind or anything like that.
Yeah, we won't open the
Because
doors.
of background.
yeah,
And then we were talking about doing the poi ball making closer to the stage, just because it was, or in the
Yeah, it doesn't have to be
cafeteria
close to the stage,
area.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like it in the auditorium part.
Yeah.
Just because it does have a connection to performance. But it doesn't have to be right next to it, because I don't want it to be a distraction by any means. But I think it'll be fine to be in that part of it.
let's have that over where we did the conversation corner,
Yeah,
because it
In
has a
front of
little nook already, so if
Yeah.
there's any storage that needs to be put there.
Perfect. That'd be
We'll
great.
do the
Yeah.
conversation
Yeah,
corner.
it might-
between the closet and the kitchen,
Great.
teaching kitchen. You know the space, you were there for
Absolutely.
lots of years.
So Kermit,
So,
does
gotcha.
it sound like you might be the MC/stage manager?
I could easily do that, yeah, I've been
Okay.
speed and stage managed a lot of shows.
Yes.
You know, you guys are talking, I was like, always, but that's okay.
All right, so unfortunately, I will not be there that day, but William, Teresa, Scott and Kermit have RSVP'd. Andrew will be there, Sienna, our comms person, will likely be there. But if you think we need more volunteers, let's just think about who else we could recruit. Because that really only leaves two commissioners, Andrew and Sienna. So.
Yes.
And if we're trying to staff our own booth, which is a question. Or we can just have a booth with information and our folks are running around, so, anyway, just a thought of like. Who else might be?
Would it
available.
make sense to invite the staff DEI? If anybody
I can
has,
try.
if they're interested
Yeah,
in
yeah,
joining,
yeah.
I also can't attend.
Quick logistic question, while we're talking about it. Looking at about 25 organizations or groups in the gym, correct?
Yeah,
And are we wanting two chairs in each one of those?
Yeah.
And additional one for photo booth, play balls, 1 or 2 tables, or lunchroom tables work for those? What do you think would be more?
I would say 2, but I just don't know how many kids that have it at any certain time.
Okay.
But 2 would definitely probably accommodate everybody and then have not too big a line waiting if that happens. One puts us in a position of maybe having quite a few kids standing and waiting. If there's room.
It's just to make sure that the request that Sally put in for the original is what we're actually gonna request and need.
Yeah,
Just to make sure that we're aligned with that, so I'll follow up with the school on that.
Okay.
And then Sally will need to review the flyer before it gets sent out.
okay, like, thank you for.
I'm in touch with the Chinese drill team
Okay,
and the mosque.
great,
Yeah.
awesome, and I'll send the letter out tomorrow, I just wanted to wait for our meeting to. Make sure we were all on the same page, so.
I wanna, still waiting for, Strong, the ukulele group, and so I'll let you know. The nice thing about that group is that it's a big group of people, mostly retired, they get together and they play ukulele together. So you don't need all of them to be there, right?
Yeah.
There's like 20 in the group.
Yeah.
And they'll show up at different events with 10, 12, 15 people, so So if people can't make it, they can always find a group.
Great.
So I'm just in communication and they're trying to see who's available May 17th.
Awesome.
We should be able to have that outside.
Okay.
And if we need a canopy-ish, 10 by 20 for that?
I think that'd be good. It doesn't, yeah, that's because everybody's, like I said, they could have 12 to 14 people. Each needing a little bit of elbow room, right? So
Do they bring their own chairs and stuff, or they have chairs for us?
I can talk to them. I haven't gone through details.
Okay, just, yeah, if they have their own, they prefer like stools or whatever, great, if not,
Okay.
and they want us to provide.
I will definitely discuss that, yeah.
And on a selfish note, is there any way that the flyer can go to like a pink or purple? Just since the summer fade is the exact same as the Terrace Summer Nights fade on that.
Okay,
photo.
sure.
I was just thinking cherry blossom, but I was like, looking at it, that's just me selfishly, because all the Terrace Summer Nights stuff starting to take on the same sunset color. And I was like, but if it doesn't look good or doesn't work, then it's totally fine.
Yes.
Crushing dreams.
Share it with me and I'll change the gradient background.
Yeah. And we probably need 2 tables for refreshments.
Do you not want to use?
We can use the
I was gonna say,
cafeteria.
cafeteria ones seem to work better,
Yeah,
just
that
because
was
they're
fine.
longer and they can run the length as we need. But.
Okay.
Yeah.
Juneteenth. William signed out, so. if you-
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Alright, so Juneteenth, kind of there right now, we're gonna have it on Father's Day. It's gonna be Juneteenth more than a day, we're holding true to that theme. But this year's focus is, since it's on Father's Day, it's gonna be father figures, and what that means. So Steve Woodard is gonna be our keynote speaker during one of those and sharing kind of what the fatherhood meant for him growing up, what it looks like to be an active male in the community and kind of how people look to him. And then we're gonna have a panel, a multi-generational panel with youth, their dads, and then grandparents, to be able to share their different experiences growing up and kind of how that's morphed over time and how they perceived it versus how they share with their family about those, as well as who were their father figures, if it wasn't in the house, if it was a coach or whatever, to be able to kind of share that it's not your father, it's that figure that supports you, that you can go to, that help encourage you along the way. Gonna be June 15th from 11 to 3. We'll have 2 food trucks on site for that. Working out just to make sure they don't have duplicate food offerings this year, and then we'll also have a DJ. We're working on trying to have a step team or a dance team come out and perform as well. And ideally going to load up this entire plaza and some of the road with organizations and community groups that want to be a part of this. Last year's events definitely sparked some interest across the board for what we can do on a really ugly rainy day. But I think the organizations that did show up in the representation that did come visit us went back and kind of shared that it's a unique setup for our layout, with being able to utilize the library as well as a plaza across the way to kind of connect 2 different events. And the Mountlake Church is not doing a Father's Day event this year. And so they said they'd be interested in kind of being able to kind of push their congregation over to us to be able to engage in that as well, just someone that's locally here and already has a built-in clientele who's gonna be in the area on that day. Yeah, right now we're just working on sponsors, logistics for who's gonna come, so if there's any organization that you think may want to come, I think right now we have 12 that are either confirmed or pending. And so, but there's no cap on this event. We can fill the street, the food trucks can go wherever we wanna put them on the street, but if we need to overflow into that, or, space it out or add more people in the parking lot on the way to the library, we can do that, so, we definitely wanna make sure that we have, representation across the board, from the BIPOC community, not just, Black-owned businesses as well. So.
Is the drill team coming? the Queens, is it Queen City? I forget. There's a drill team group
I
that,
don't know, that's, somebody else has taken that on
Okay.
for logistics, but you think it was Queen City's everything?
yeah, they're in Tour de Terrace.
Sounds right.
I think it's Queen City.
I could be wrong, but it just sounds familiar.
I can look at the Tour de Terrace roster.
Yeah,
So, if a food truck wants to join, they just reach out to you?
Yes, right now I'm working with two to see if they can do it without overstepping food, but we still have 3rd of July as well, so.
We have what?
3rd of July as well, so food trucks can always reach out to me and I just add them to my roster.
Their official taste test field trip.
I want that pass.
it makes late nights easier.
I mean, they sent me to one for Juneteenth, they said, hey, we were looking at having this guy do it. I went out there and I tried it and then came back, gave my feedback and was like, you know, some things work for large, quick operation, other ones that are just not meant for quick turnover, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can always send people my way, I'll go test them out. And depending on what, like what this turnaround times are, definitely change how,
Okay.
like when I try to pull people in, but yeah, I have a nice long roster right now. As far as role for the commission, just right now it's day of support. Got Vanessa is going to stipend again. She doesn't want it to ever be just donated. She wants to respect your time and effort with that. So just so you have a heads up. And this year we were working with the high school arts teacher to have 4 murals painted by students.
Wow.
To have on site. And so one of them may end up being towards the photo booth area. We're
Okay.
still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
But 4x6 painting, and that one would be ideally be father figures and kind of have them free flow it. They would then be able to take that back and use that as part of their wrap up project for the end of the year if they would like. But they're looking at doing 4x6 murals for the event to have displayed throughout it.
Nice.
And so that was kind of cool. Bridge with the high school and being able to get them involved.
Actually, the arts question.
Yes. I may have shared that last time.
Okay.
They were talking about the big murals they want to have in the city, and I was like, well, I'm getting 4 murals. But they want one that's portable and way larger than that, but, yeah, the teacher was really excited because they think that they could easily pull off 4. The wood shop will help cut the wood for them, the students would do it, and then if the students want to claim it at the end, they would sign in and be able to pick it up afterwards. So that's a cool new asset that we have and trying to find a placement for it once we have them here on site and there's something different. And then the only other thing would be if anybody wants to help kind of liaison or usher while people are coming in the panel, the library entrance and exit mentality, as well as our restrooms here. We just try to make sure we don't have people just wandering. IT will take computers and stuff out, but kind of just free flow and make sure people are, if we have our DEIC booth that kind of rotate through that again.
We did okay last year with that, didn't we? We didn't really have any problem with the,
Yep.
with the restrooms.
Yeah, no, and so, there's no hardcore, like, we need you here. It's just if you're there, it's great support.
Yeah, no,
I'll be
you know
there,
me, I
open to close
like to do the whole.
in the nice sunshine.
Whatever. Yes. We're gonna have a
But
dress
that's
rehearsal for
gonna
the
be
thunder
nice.
and lightning tomorrow.
It's gonna be like today.
Yeah.
The day after can thunder on everybody else.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, it's coming together really well. We're head on planning. And a couple of different organizations have chipped in to kind of get the word out this year, which is gonna be really nice. So last year we gave away 500 meals during our event. So this year we're going for 1,000. And so, yeah, once we lock in the actual food truck vendors, I can actually make that statement of who's gonna be there, which then just naturally brings in more people. So.
Yeah, we, at our booth, we handed out the tickets, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody that does show will get 2 tickets, they can go to either one of each, or they can get 2 at one place. And they're just smaller portions, not full size portions, but just get you through while you're walking around engaging with people. Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful.
So, Juneteenth.
Thank you. All right, welcoming week. I was hoping that we could, well, one, Andrew recommended that we change the date to September 20th.
So I'm gonna throw another wrench at you with this, because I said that. So we have two events on the 13th already that are city hosted events. We have the new Luminaria Walk as well as the National Day of Service cleanup on the 13th. But the 20th is when Arts of the Terrace first weekend is.
Oh, right. That's right.
Now that may be a blessing or a curse for us if there's people that we can kind of bounce between the two. But I don't know if it's pulling from the same demographic that we're looking for or it's not. Or if they're just having, I'm not against having more things happening in the city at one time, because if someone there, they hear about it, they might want to go venture over to the other one. But I just wanted, after I threw that out there, I went through my whole calendar and I was like, oh, yep, there's something happening there too. But again, I think the 20th would be easier. I would not be able to assist on the 13th. And so just on my behalf of logistics and stuff, the 13th would be out for me. So.
I like that, the, not competing with the day of service, the National Day of Service.
Yes.
Wait, but he said 20th is coming.
With the
With the
art
Arts of
walk,
the Terrace.
Oh,
The jury art.
The art show?
Which is for 7 days.
Yeah.
the 20th, yeah.
yeah.
So you're saying on the 20th, we would have you?
Yes.
Like, that's what I wanted.
Or are we going, looking at August, are we going later in September?
That's as long as everyone shows up to the Luminaria Walk at Lake Ballinger on 13th.
Okay.
That's like one of our new events. It's a candlelit walk, and so with the trails wrapping up at the end of August, we put little white bags with LED candles.
Sand and
Yeah,
candles.
And you kind of line all the trails, and people can kind of just walk
Oh,
along the
nice,
candlelit
nice.
trail.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
What does it signify?
It's just
It's just,
kind of
it's just the
community
trails are
outreach, yeah,
done.
just go out with a brand new trail system.
Oh, I see.
So,
Because I was just wondering, because like the Total Legacy event in Green Lake. like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that's what, but you don't. put
You don't.
candles
So
in
we're not
the
doing like that. We're just doing a Luminary walk, which they do like Meadowbrook Pond. They'll just do it straight through the pond. Green Lake does their whole loop around as well. But it's just to kind of let you go through the trail system and have it lit up, and at National Day of Service, as well as the week before at the rock painting group. Kids and adults can decorate bags. And then those will be also utilized throughout the event. They can try to go find their bags. So
Nice.
just something new that we're doing.
Oh, look at that, we have an events page at the city.
Yeah.
So I Googled it, it says Andrew, how does it know that I'm looking for Andrew? Okay.
Take a look at all the work that got going ahead of me. Look at my July, will you?
I wish that our room here was big enough to host welcoming week, because then we'd have the art show.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
I mean, we could try and do like a big tent outside, but if the weather's poor,
Yeah,
it's gonna be miserable.
I love September weather, but.
it's kind of a
Yeah,
crapshoot.
it'll be
Question
Yeah,
mark.
I know, and
Usually we get to about-
I would be like, use the police station in here, but it's not the right group for that, so, yeah.
Okay, so we are all saying the 20th is.
Yeah.
correct.
And we could just do a good, like, some A boards, like cross promoting.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
You know, do some cross.
And flyers at the,
Yeah.
at the other events.
Are we gonna do the same thing as like creating a list in Dropbox and then reaching out?
Yeah, I was hoping we could create a committee. And you should be on it because you were very instrumental in helping us get people.
I don't speak English, so.
I only speak,
Okay, we'll have it.
I only have 27 languages. Yeah, I would highly suggest that we have a little committee and we could meet a couple times in the next 3 weeks. Just to figure out who to invite, because I think the earlier we reach out to people, the better, and then we can ask all our partners to help cross promote. And there might be a partner who really wants to like co-sponsor it with us besides the school district, so. Yeah, so anyone, yes?
Sorry, I was gonna say something different. I'm happy to plug in as helpful, but I was just gonna say, I think last year we ended up on the same day as something for the fire district.
Oh,
So
right.
maybe we could just double check that as well. And I don't know if that matters and if it's the same folks, but I think from a vendor perspective, I wonder. Like, I feel like there was
Oh,
folks
yeah,
who
there
were
was like a
like,
safety
right.
fair.
yeah.
DBS wasn't there because of that, but they had PD right there and they had one of their reps, but they had their South County emergency preparedness.
Okay.
That same day.
That's, I remember it coming up during the event,
Laurel,
so
no.
I think all of the Sean.
might be worth checking. Yeah.
All right, so anyone want to be on the committee? It could just be two people.
If Karen is gonna be on the committee, then I will be on the committee. with him.
Keep an eye on it. The way you phrase it, I want to make sure he doesn't do anything inappropriate.
No, it's because he's jealous.
Doesn't want you to be alone.
Day. He's just envious because you and I met about Children's Day.
Oh, I see.
All right, so,
So I charge, I accept payment in food form, so. Do you still have a list from the last?
Yes.
So we're gonna start from scratch.
yes, yeah. And then it sounded like from the last couple times we talked, basically the same format, like without performances, more of a resource fair.
Yes.
The snack table, maybe some activities here and there, but not like performances and music and that kind of thing, so.
But the date is still to be determined, right? Because he's gonna check for the.
20th is probably likely, but we will double check on that emergency event.
Could we do like have touch a truck type thing?
You know, I just felt, the only thing is I felt like that when we had the fire truck, maybe it's just because we didn't have that many people there,
Mhm.
but we had the fire truck and the library truck
Yeah,
outside and
that's right.
it wasn't very popular.
I enjoyed the fire truck.
I got in the fire truck too. And I had such a smile on my face when I got down that the woman who was standing there said, you know, we hire all the time.
Because you need one other thing.
Yes, right, exactly.
We can talk about it.
Okay. Oh, well, yeah, and maybe it doesn't make sense.
It's hard to gauge because we just didn't have that.
I know, yeah. All right, so we talked about the date. Oh, the name of the event.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, so on the bottom are some kind of general ideas, but it would be nice, I think it wasn't super clear what our event was about on our flyers last year, and we didn't have a comms person either, so, just a couple ideas, what are you doing?
So that was it.
Our city, your home, and it can have like a tagline after, empower and connect, welcoming week resource fair, opening doors, welcoming week resource fair for newcomers. Oh, I don't know why that other thing is on there, sorry, that was the next topic.
Kind of like the Empower and Connect
Yeah.
Welcoming Week Resource Fair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it is for newcomers, but you want other people to come too, so. You don't wanna,
Yeah, and also, look, we need to think about not putting a bullseye on us.
Yes, right,
Yeah. I like the second one.
you like the second one, correct?
Got it, the second one.
Yeah, the resource there, welcome resource there.
I mean, we can play around with it, it doesn't have to be one of those three, those were just like ChatGPT suggestions.
The resources and.
that got us the tree for the things. also.
Yes.
I do like the second one. Empower and Connect, I mean, we could talk about those two words maybe, and maybe there's some other words we could think about, I mean, those are good.
Some of the question I feel like was like, what are the resources? And so I don't know if there's a way to answer that more fully in the title, but I think that's like what those resources mean.
Yeah.
But last time she did provide like a list on the invitation.
Yes. And maybe there's not a way to do it in the title, I don't know, I will say like that's, I think, the question that
You could add community resource fair,
Mhm.
because there are things that are in the community for people that.
Our services, yeah.
Had one today where I was just like mosaic of cultures, where it's like That way you can have an arts aspect in it too. Mountlake Terrace, Mosaic Cultures, welcome week event.
They might think it's a cultural festival. but-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of not that. Chat GPT do better than that.
Try again. I'll try again. We can talk about it at the committee meeting. Community services. Okay. All right, I think that was that.
Do you think people will be worried about showing up for the welcoming event this year
I
though?
think if we don't call it immigrant and refugee,
But welcoming, I see.
I mean, unless they look up what the website is, they might not understand.
That's why, yeah. Basically, having to say, we're trying to just connect, engage, welcome you to the city. That's all inclusive across the board, but with a focus on services.
Yeah.
More direct.
Maybe engage is the better word to use instead of empower.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
maybe.
and it's also like resources to. Oh no, I kind of like empower. Because we talk a lot about engagement, and I think that also has its own, not bullseye, but it says something or sets an expectation.
Yeah, that's a result of coming to the fair. You would be empowered.
Yeah.
Because you had the information.
Yes.
Yeah.
Versus engaging, I'm coming and I'm gonna have to, like,
We have to talk to people.
I have to show myself
Yeah.
to get resources.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm gonna show up and take what I can from it.
Drive by.
Well, as we kind of flesh out who's coming, we can maybe just revisit and make sure we're still happy with the title. We don't have to get a flyer out like next week.
Unlike
But
the other ones.
I would like to, yeah, before we send the mass email out to everyone, it'd be nice to have a title, maybe.
I'd love to get from Sally's going from the API event, that if we want to tap into some of those as well. We have this.
Okay, so moving on, community conversations, we have one on Saturday, and I think we have enough volunteers. Let me double check. We have, Teresa. Somebody declined on.
I did. Yeah.
I'll check with William.
I think he is not planning on, like he's planning on laying low.
Oh, yeah, because he's so sick.
Yeah, he's not here anymore, it looks like, so.
Yeah.
I don't think he was feeling that.
All right, so
good.
Teresa, it's you and me and an interpreter.
Okay.
We'll
do it.
But I'll see if Sienna will be willing to host a table. She'll be there. I thought we had 3. Somehow that changed.
Well, William may have been
Yeah.
one of them until he got sick, so.
Yeah, I guess.
Carolyn, let me know what you want. I'm tentatively gonna drive to Spokane for a memorial service, but I'm also like thinking about driving to Spokane and back this weekend, so, anyway, I was gonna say, if you end up in a place where you really need another facilitator.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd love to attend, I just.
All right. Okay, and then tonight you met Letty and Washington Family Engagement and Red Cross.
Yep.
And as we spoke about earlier, we're trying to connect with them to figure out, like, is there a way for us to expand our community through partnering with them and vice versa? So if you have any feedback from what you heard today, happy to hear what your thoughts are. But a couple of us are gonna do a tour tomorrow of the Letty building And then at some point in the near future, we're gonna go down and see the Washington Family Engagement Office, so,
I think that was maybe next week.
yeah, maybe.
Let's hold it.
So. Anyway, I'm excited. It's still sort of like, we're trying to figure out like, what does this look like, but, I think there's some opportunities there. Benita and I also went to the high school, had a really great conversation, but I haven't
Yes.
heard anything.
I know. I sent a follow-up.
You did?
I did to, because we were hoping to schedule something before spring break and we sort of left the ball in the court of Rebecca and the BSU students to connect us with the other student leader groups, because it would be great to have more of them and do, like, we would come in and we did this with the BSU, a presentation, like a mini community conversation. And then we kind of like jumped back and said, okay, so this is why we're doing this type of activity. Would this be valuable, do you think, with your groups? And so we would partner with the different student leaders, student union groups, affinity groups, leadership. And we would have a student or a couple student facilitator and a city or commission person with the small groups. And then doing that during one of the long pass periods. So they have an advisory where they take like 5 or 10 minutes or 7 minutes from every class. And so it's like an hour long.
Yeah, so it'd be pretty short, because I think we would have some people come to a city group and the students wanted to ask their own questions. So it'd be like 30 minutes. So we'll have to.
I'm not clear what it is. Is it a quick civics lesson?
No, it's a community conversation.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, with the student leaders.
Got it.
But
Okay,
we would
understood.
help them kind of
Oh, I see.
a little bit.
Yeah, learn how to facilitate.
Learn how to
a
facilitate a
conversation.
community
Yeah.
conversation
Yeah.
and then practice it.
Yeah. But yeah, if any other ideas come up with groups that you're connected to, I still would like to do like at least one a month
Mhm.
for a while and then continue with those follow-up conversations with them like we have with the mosque and some others, so. So, I think the next topic is,
We're in a 2 Haas event
oh yeah,
Sunday.
2 house event.
Oh, that's
So
right.
We're gonna have one more market, social media push this week for it. But that's this Sunday.
2 houses event?
2 Haas. She came and presented about
The
fall
baby
cycle.
blues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that event is on Sunday at the library.
Alright, Sienna and I went to a session called It's Your America. I believe Councilmember Woodard went to a separate session on this as well. And we were inspired by it, and I asked the executive director to have a conversation with Sienna and about what it might look like to have such a conversation here in Mountlake Terrace. And she sent me 3 different proposals. And I just wanted to share kind of the idea behind it with you, because I think it's sort of it's about dialogue in our community and how to have civil discourse. And so it's sort of like that next step of like, hey, we want you to get engaged with the community, we want you to come present to council, we want you to advocate for your policy ideas. And then there's like the how do you do that, especially if you're in disagreement with someone. So this is a nonprofit organization, and the leader, Jillian, is she's a former government worker, researcher. I think she probably has her PhD. And she's just really analyzed community engagement and how polarized our communities have become. And how do we act as a democracy in that situation? And so she's been researching this, and like this is just an example of how polarized our country has become, and how we've decided that we're not even going to talk to people who don't think like us, and it's on both sides of the table. So but there's survey data that helps that's, it's not just a feeling, it's the real thing, so, and this is back in 2017, but, yeah, I mean, members of opposing political parties were calling each other evil. We'd be better off if the other party just died. I mean, these are terrible things to say about people, and so, it's really just getting to the point of like, we have to have somewhere, and there's gotta be some middle ground where we can reconnect. And this isn't just about, government policy, it's about, even in other workplaces, it's about our family and friends and the relationships that we hold. So this is, that like, where is your position overlap? And so she's done, some tests on positions. So when we talk about immigration, we think we're at polar opposites, but when you really get into the details, there is overlap between like Democrats and Republicans. Same with the position on guns. And these are very, very polarizing issues. So really what she was doing in these sessions that Sienna and Councilmember Woodard and I went to was to educate the group in 15 minutes or so about a topic and give them like pros and cons about a topic. Our topic happened to be housing. And so you learn about the policy issue, you learn about what some of the polarizing topics are.
And there's something in chat, by the way. Is that an audience? Public? Oh.
So she provides a framework for people to have these difficult conversations, and it's something that could be repeatable in various situations. So it's really just equipping people with the tools and the vocabulary to have discourse, to be mindful of, people's emotions around the table, and also to bring in diverse audiences and a broad range of local partners in having these conversations. So, and one of the 3 different types of proposals and ways that we could do this in the most elaborate form, we could send mailers out randomly to invite people to a conversation. So it's not just the people who sign up, and so like what happened in this situation that Sienna and I went to, all the people who went just went because they were interested. And so at my table, there was no one who disagreed with having affordable housing. And so, like I'm sitting there going like, I'm gonna put like my negative neighbor hat on, and just be the adversary at the table. But if you really want to do it, and make sure that you have differences of opinion, you can do this random invite. So basically people break into groups and they brainstorm solutions to the problem. And then they start sharing like one idea that they have to solve the problem. And then obviously you'll have some discussion about people's ideas. There could be questions, there could be like, well, have you thought about X, and giving people the tools to sort of debate those kinds of ideas. So there's a couple different ways to do this, and we don't have to decide today, but I just wanted to plug that there's like this 3-hour workshop, which is probably the better solution because it could take we did a 2-hour workshop and I felt like it wasn't long enough, but she can also do a shorter one, and we probably could come up with some kind of middle ground. And I just really thought like, oh, here we are as a community, we're already feeling this, but nationally, with different things going on, but also we have some hot topics coming up. We have some budget conversations to have. We have a conversation coming up about the recreation pavilion. We have, even the housing conversation tomorrow night could become contentious when we pass a new zoning code. So I just was thinking, well, this would kind of be an interesting thing to bring to the group and see what you all think.
I like it. I think it's what we would want to do, right? If we're about being inclusive, then we'd want to make sure that other people who disagree with our points of view are included. And how do we do that?
Yeah, because being inclusive doesn't just include people who want to be inclusive.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's people who don't necessarily think being inclusive or equitable is a good thing, but
Yeah.
we should try to engage other people.
Yeah.
Who is it, Bob?
So, it's called Civic Genius.
Okay.
If you wanted to do something like this, you would have $10,000 on the budget, right?
I have some training budget and I can evaluate the budget further.
And how many people would you fit in there?
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask you, is it
Yeah.
10,000?
That is I'm assuming it would be the same size group as what we had, which is probably 40 people or so, but it would depend on how many facilitators. And she would be willing to train like some of us to be facilitators. Anyway, we don't have to make a decision tonight. I just wanted to like put it on the table for us to continue talking about and think about the right time, because, you know, we're in the middle of, you know, doing community conversations, which is a big lift, and we're doing Mountlake Terrace Community Academy, which is almost over. So cool. And then there's summer. So like, it doesn't have to be like right away, but I just thought like, let's kind of chat about it. If it seems good, we could also, have Jillian come talk to us for a few minutes. So.
It sounds healthy.
I like that. It sounds healthy.
That's a good way to put it, Scott.
Stop being so positive. Can I be the adversity in the discussion?
You always are.
We need balance, right?
That's from Scott.
Something employees would be a part of as well.
I don't see why not, yeah. But we'll have to talk further about, where we want
But I
to
do
go.
think that, especially these different departments and how people engage with different conversations, it would be helpful to have people in different departments of the city be able to have that training too. Also, knowing a lot of times, I think they feel like what is offered is not for employees, for people outside, because they're affiliated with the city. And so trying to figure a way to make that so they feel that they can be a part of it.
Yeah.
Without having to say, I'm here for the city, it's like, I'm here for myself, but it's gonna help me in my work with the city.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, we'd want that with the city. We would want this genius with the city. Right? Yeah.
All right. We are at.
Yeah, we're at
9 o'clock, so like I said, I can, we do have to adopt the proclamation for,
Children's Day.
I have it attached. Do you want me, I think I have it on this. Right here. I didn't really change it from last year. If there's something you want to change on it, I'm open to that.
I think it just looked like last year when I had one.
I like it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
we read it last year.
Oh, I think I might have added this.
Yes.
Oh, what a coincidence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too.
Right, I was gonna say, I have fond memories of
Yeah.
Take Your Child to Work Day growing up. I feel like it's kind of fizzled out over the years. I would love to see
Yeah.
a re-energization.
That's the day.
Yeah.
That's the day of the proclamation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good, then I can tell my children that's why I'm drinking.
Okay.
And you get a picture on the dais.
I'm sure they will smile.
Well, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we adopt the proposed proclamation or recommend the proposed proclamation to city council.
I second.
Are those in favor? Oppose?
Nope.
The motion carries. Thank you.
Who are we going to present it to?
Children.
I think last year we made a bunch of copies and we.
And we gave it-
Oh, yeah,
we gave it
because,
to the children
because,
that were presenting.
because our girls got, our kids, yeah.
And that might be a nice souvenir for all the children.
Who are performing or presenting.
Yeah, that might be nice.
So we just need to know the numbers.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so we will hold strategic plan for next time, but I did send you some reading materials.
Okay.
And do you want to do your updates?
Yes,
There's one more point. Number 10.
Oh, number 10, right?
That's you.
So you were the only one who was not,
Yes.
that's what you wanted to wait for, like.
Yes.
We were just proposing.
I
and we
thought,
moved it.
yeah, I thought it was important to have everybody have a go at it, right? Because it's gonna concern all of us. So,
So last month, everybody said 6:30 is fine, but we wanted to make sure you know.
yeah,
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion.
I
Oh.
move that we change the start time of the meeting to 6:30.
I second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I think William's in favor as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And those opposed? That motion carries unanimously.
All right, so that was Courtney and,
Thank you.
Ready for the reports? On February 20th, we all went to the Ramadan proclamation. And it's really great to sit with all of our friends from the mosque, and they were really happy to receive that. They made some great speeches. February 23rd, community conversation with the Snohomish Health District at the Mountlake Terrace Library. And throughout February, I worked with Tuhada to put together her South Vietnamese 50th anniversary of the resettlement event that's going to occur this Sunday. And I'm kind of looking forward to that. She's got some real guts to this thing now. March 13th, 2025 work plan presentation to the city council. Thank you very much for helping with that. On the 14th, I went to the Purim festival at Shabbat of Snohomish County. Purim commemorates the saving of the Jewish people from annihilation at the hands of the official of the Achaemenid Empire, as it is recounted in the book of Esther. Lots of food, lots of speeches. There was a little bit of the service, music. Lots of people to talk to.
where was that again?
Purim,
But where?
PU, Shabbat at Snohomish County, here in Linwood. March 20th, the Nowruz proclamation. Thank you very much. And we met yesterday to plan AAPI. And let's go clockwise.
March 7th, I also pressured the city of Bellevue to issue a proclamation for Nowruz. I'm just harassing all the cities around. So they also issued a Nowruz proclamation.
Nice.
So I went there. It was also nice, but ours is more inclusive. They removed some of the sentences. But I just not gonna complain this time. And then on March 16th, we organized a Nowruz event in Bellevue for the Azerbaijani community. We had like 150 something people, like dances, songs, and everything. It was fun. We also had the two representatives from like Los Angeles Consulate of Azerbaijan and Claudio Balducci from the King County Council member come. It was nice to connect them. And now I'm working on my next Nowruz event that is on it. Where there's food carries there, obviously, like April 20th, the Kazakh community moved their Nowruz to April because it was overlapping with Ramadan. this year, so April 20th, there will be a notice event in Redmond, this time for the Kazakh community. I'm tired.
Yeah.
We did get an email today from the consulate thanking us for.
They tell me.
Yeah, I was gonna forward it to you, but I hadn't got a chance yet. Yeah, I'll send it to you all.
Awesome. Nice.
Okay.
It is. Hey, Benita.
So the big thing that I did, and missed, since I missed last meeting, was, on January, 23rd, I participated in the point in time count, with the Verdant Health Commission and the YMCA. And so we went out looking for people who are unhoused to fill out a survey with them and have them count for federal funding. It is a national point in time day that, is done. Unfortunately, it is planned. And so like a lot of cleanup events had happened right before the point in time count. So there's a lot of feedback about when should we be doing these. And also it was in the middle of the cold weather shelters where there were people out in cold weather shelters for like a week and a half surrounding that. But it was really cool to be in community with a lot of different partners. And we found one person who we were able to give food to that had already been counted. And we drove all the way around. We drove all over for like an hour and a half, 2 hours looking for people. In February 21st and 22nd was comedy night to benefit Edmond School District. February 22nd was Pinewood Derby. And so that was at the American Legion Auxiliary here in Mountlake Terrace. And we brought people, Girl Scouts around to participate in that. February 23rd was the community conversation with the health district. February 25th, the League of Women Voters hosted an elder care study conversation. And that's where they work together to achieve consensus on what kinds of policies the League of Women Voters want to back. And that was really interesting to hear about the statewide research and studies that had gone into the process of how do we look at elder care in our society. Girl Scout cookie season was 3 weekends, 2 weeks of bananas shuffling cookies around my house. March. Yes, Emily met her goal. My new Daisy troop that I've started mentoring here in Mountlake Terrace sold out all of their cookies. We were able to help them. And then we also picked up a troop of, there's a single Girl Scout who is a senior that was exposed to measles at Children's Hospital. And so we picked up their troop's cookies, and scouts from all over, from different areas got together and helped me sell her cookies for them so that she would still have the credit of having participated, even though she was quarantining at home in case she was positive and just asymptomatic for that long incubation period. Wow. So that was really awesome. March is Women's History Month, so I always love Girl Scout Cookies. Is the largest girl-run business in the world. So let's see, March 5th, the Washington State PTA hosted a diversity, equity, and inclusion guidance program. And so Washington State PTA has curricula about how to, as parent leaders, become more aware and cognizant of being inclusive of our diverse communities. March 6th was Cops and Clergy, where I got to hear some little sneak peeks of the presentation that will be made to the City Council. March 6th was the Edmond Special Education PTSA meeting. On March 10th, Carolyn and I went to the high school and met with the BSU. We've been meeting with Washington Family Engagement and Letty. March 12th, I crashed the City Police Academy with Chris the City Academy with Chris because they were visiting the police station. And Sergeant Porter said I should because he was bringing the bear. And so we got to go sit inside and take a selfie in the big vehicle that he drives for SWAT. March 13th, our work plan presentation and Nauru's proclamation. March 21st, I visited with Dr. Miner for the superintendent for Edmond School District. And I heard we're talking about Ramadan in different contexts. And so she shared from one of the parent leaders, the staff picked up that there was like some desire to have more understanding about, we provide a space, but we don't know what's exactly happening. And if a kid is goofing off, like what do we, like, how do we handle things when we're not sure because we don't feel comfortable talking about something we don't know about. And Dr. Miner shared that the district was providing, was able to provide non-perishable food bag, snack to go home with each of the students who were fasting during the school days to ensure that they had food at home, which I then mentioned to school at our Ramadan iftar at the mosque. And so we're going to make some connections there with the school district. There's a lot of desire to create community and outreach, but there's a lack of comfortability, like comfort in reaching out and being the one to start that conversation. So I also shared about the food program and that I didn't know what the crossover was between people who are participating in observing iftar or Ramadan and fasting and students and families who have food insecurity. Letty tour was yesterday, and I led my very first Washington Family Engagement Parent Net conversation yesterday. And since I've seen you all last at a commission meeting, I have responded to 8 Red Cross emergency calls, including, I don't think any of them have been in Mountlake Terrace. They've all been in Edmonds School District, but they've not been in Mountlake Terrace. South County Fire continues to be on.
Thank you for bringing our guests. Good to
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna sound really boring. Hate following you. Sorry. It's okay. I was at Ramadan. What?
Not a competition,
I
and you're
know.
closer to all the treats down there. So.
Yeah. I was at the Ramadan proclamation and it was really great to see so many people there. Yeah. As well as at the Ruse one. I mean,
Yes.
you know, we had both those proclamations were well attended by community members. Community conversation on the 23rd of February. I attended the Juneteenth meeting on the 13th of March, as did my dog. But I think my tech will be a little better next time, so. Yeah. And then also the report to the council, attended that. And then also the iftar meal at the mosque, and that was really great. I mean, you know, there were some women that we knew from other times we'd gotten together with them, had some conversations with someone I hadn't met before, and had some, I asked a few people how they were feeling about you know, if they were feeling insecure about, you know, what's going on politically right now. And there are people from a lot of different places at that mosque. One woman was actually a Canadian citizen. Another woman was Egyptian, but had been here for many years. They didn't seem like they had quite as much anxiety as some other groups do, but they're still vulnerable. So, it was really interesting to stand in the back while they did the prayer after they broke the fast and then come back in and have our meal, and then they had wonderful desserts and just we all felt so welcomed by everybody. Yeah. So that was my thing.
Okay, thank you.
I will not be taking up much of your time. February 21st, 22nd, I was very happy along with Commissioner Francisco and a great committee to put on the Edmonds Comedy Night, raising money for the Edmonds School District. And I was also proud to host it and put together a lineup that was incredibly diverse and very funny, and the audiences were great. And I have been traveling a lot, but I've been able to be part of a couple meetings for the AAPI Heritage Festival in May, and I'm very excited about where we're headed on that.
Thank you for the comment show. It's amazing.
Yeah, thanks for being there.
Yeah, no, it was totally worth it.
All right.
All right.
I only have one thing that I wanted to mention on staff report, everything else can wait. I have a tie between August 6th and 26th for our rescheduled August meeting. The only thing I can say is August 6th is the day after National Night
and my grandchild is due on the 13th, but they might induce her early, so I don't know what's happening. In the first half of August, I could be. So either day is fine.
Looks like either
Does someone wanna make a motion to move our meeting?
I move that we move our meeting to August 26th.
I second.
Okay, yeah, I'm good. Those in favor,
Yes.
oppose, 26.
I can't make it, but I can still favor it, right?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can, yeah. Yes, yes, you can vote.
eight,
Yeah.
when they are going to excuse you.
Thanks.
And remember, when you put it in your calendar, change the time to 6:30.
Oh, yeah.
6:30 for
Well,
all.
just, I have two things before we break.
New business.
Yeah. So I had a meeting with the City of Linwood Diversity, Equity and Inclusion staff liaison, Doug, and Dr. Guzman about PTA councils helping support or having partners help council support LGBTQIA plus skate night. It is located in Linwood, but it benefits students across Edmond School District. And I accidentally mentioned to Doug that I was gonna see Sally like back to back because we were doing the AAPI month, and Doug was very jealous that he wasn't involved. And so I was wondering if if our commission would be willing to be a financial partner of $250 to co-sponsor that event.
The skate night.
How do we do that?
Just need a motion.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we sponsor skate night for $250.
Okay. Thank you. Do we have a second?
Oh, I think you said a second, no, I asked.
Okay. Those in favor? And oppose? It's like the motion carries.
Grandkids always go to that, so.
Well, because the library is doing something in Linwood on May 10th. And like celebrating Mother's Day, and he's like, "Oh, Sally, are you looking for a partner? And I'm like, "Oh, we are so far down the rabbit hole." And then one last thing is on March 15th at the school board meeting, students from the Urban Education Native American group did several public comments to the school board asking them to pass a resolution to acknowledge September 30th as Every Child Matters Day. It's kind of the pretense before celebrating Orange Shirt Day, where we acknowledge all of the lives and culture that was lost due to boarding schools. And so Jen Herman spoke, and I brought my kid because her friend was speaking publicly, and Emily said that the thing that moved her the most was when her friend's mom said, "I'm the first person in my family to be able to speak the language that we grew up with since my great-grandmother." And so I asked her what she thought, and she said there was one thing that stood out, and that was what she said, and it still gives me goosebumps. So it would be wonderful if we could consider having that be a partnership or a presentation to our city council in the future.
Yeah.
They were beautiful. They came in native costumes, and they were speaking from different tribal nations and native groups across.
Would we want to do a proclamation September 30th instead of the Native American history?
Maybe. That would be more meaningful since it's acknowledging a variety of different things within their culture.
And especially if they come to proclamation reading.
By the way, if you guys haven't seen the documentary Sugar Cane,
I have. Yeah.
you should definitely.
What's it called?
Sugar Cane. It's about, it's done by a guy whose dad was born actually at one of those schools
Catholic.
up in,
Yeah, Catholic
yeah,
churches
up in,
right north in Vancouver,
actually this one.
British
was in-
Columbia.
but it was like more like a little bit farther, like Penticton or something. But anyway, up in British Columbia.
Yeah.
And he went up, he had left the area and then he decided he wanted to make a movie about these Catholic schools where they would take, their children out of their families and.
They
And-
would,
And they were taking
dispose of
foreign there.
children right in the
Yes, just
dumpster
just
and,
heinous. I mean, I'm getting chills just thinking.
yeah.
About the movie, but anyway, it's totally worth watching. It was on Hulu. That's why I watched
Yeah,
it.
it looks like it's on the school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really raw because they're just talking to people who have not spoken about these things for
Yeah.
many years,
Yeah.
but it's definitely worth watching.
It also said there's the plus, I think they're the same thing, I don't know.
Yeah, it should be on there. And, we had those schools here until like, I think 1981 or something.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, we have thousands of schools.
Yeah, but I mean, in this state
Yeah.
even. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But history we need to know.
Yeah, it's on both Disney Plus and Hulu.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, and it says you can host screenings.
Oh, that might be cool.
Yeah, on their website, in the
Oh.
mobile website, there's a button say host screenings and there's a form popping up there.
We should all watch it.
That it zoomed into my head for a second before, but I thought, oh, well,
That would be so cool, Kristen.
I was like.
Don't email me for
And on that note.
No, I should not watch it, I should just wait for it to
Wait for the screening.
I got too excited, sorry.
Yeah.
I like it.
No, I mean, that crossed my mind just briefly while you were talking about doing this other event and so it's serendipity that you found that, I guess.
Okay. I think we're adjourning at this moment. So thank you very much for joining us tonight. Really lively conversation.
Does anybody
Lots
want
of
to take this
information.
home? I have bushes and bushes of it. Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna drop
Hope you
these
guys
off
remember.
to you.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
Of this,
Yeah.
not the library event.